Year 8. Today we're going to be looking at this source here to help us to build on our knowledge about Jon Snow and cholera and the conditions in industrial cities during the 19th century. So the first thing I want you to do is to answer this question here. What can you see in the source? Now, when we're talking about what we can see in sources, we need to describe them in as much detail as possible. So if you're able to either print off or annotate the picture that you have, you could either annotate it by hand or you could write on it in PowerPoint and add labels that way. And I want you to find as many details in the source as you can. So for example, I might add that I have a skeleton. I might pick out that I have a water pump. I would consider what the people look like. Think about the fact that there are no shoes on their feet. Maybe think about what is being said here. So this says death's dispensary. So a dispensary is something that gives something out, it dispenses things. Open to the poor, gratis by permission of the parish. So the parish is like the people that are in charge, and gratis means free. So this is saying that this is open to members of the poor completely for free. So think about what that might be trying to say. So all you need to do in this one is tell me what you can see. So imagine if you were describing this to someone who didn't have the source in front of them, how would you tell them what it looked like? So pause here, complete that, and then come back. So the next question we're going to think about is what this source can tell us about health in an industrial city. So for example, I might talk about the fact that I see Death here, he has a crown on. I can assume that this is the king of death, and he is pumping out water to these people who look very sick. So that might tell me that water was causing people to get sick. This source suggests that water was causing people to get sick. So think about if you can link it to the things that you can see. So in the source it shows and then you describe what you can see. And then, importantly, this suggests that health in an industrial city was. So pause here, complete that task, and then come back. Okay, so now you need to talk about the contextual knowledge that you could use to support that source. So for example, think about the things with Jon Snow. So what do you know about Jon Snow that could be linked to this? So some things that you might like to talk about that you will need to add more detail are the Broad Street pump. What might that have to do with this? You might like to talk about cholera, and you might like to talk about conditions in an industrial city. So reach back into your previous knowledge and see what information you can add. So the final task we're going to do today is to think about the purpose of that source, why it was created. To do that, we need to look at the information that comes along with the source. So that's this information here, okay? So source A is a cartoon published in the magazine Fun in 1866. Now, Fun was what's known as a satirical magazine. So satire is when you make fun of things. So you poke fun at the news, things like Mock the Week on TV or news of the world and stuff like that. They make fun of news that happened in the week, and this is what this is doing. It's kind of poking fun at it and making a comment on the situation at the time. So, bearing that in mind, why do you think this source was created? What did the creator of this picture intend to happen as a result? So what did the creator What did the creator of this picture intend to happen as a result of it being published? So once you've answered that question, you should have fully analysed this source. So you've picked out details in it, you've told me what the source tells you, you've backed that up with contextual knowledge that would support your inferences, and then you've talked about why that source was created. You should submit your work via Satchel 1 to your teacher. Good luck!